Hey guys, welcome to the Balanced Athlete podcast. This is episode 1. So we were going to record this in my conservatory, but the rain has done us a yeah. So here we are at the table. So we're going to first topic. We're going to just go into a little bit of background of myself and then Adam as well in terms of how we came into the industry. We thought it'd be good to get that across as the first point, just because obviously we both came from different sort of backgrounds, so to speak, and probably reasons for getting into it were probably similar, but it was different stories. So, but I don't think I've ever asked you this question of how you got into it.
No, you haven't. Actually, I've never asked you. I would just think when I first came to the gym you're working at, we just clicked and that's it. Really, we're not really spoken about the details. So,
Well, I remember that first time of it was just before we reopened.
Yeah, during COVID times.
I was on rent then.
Yeah.
But I came in because there was no staff.
Yeah.
I came in to help set the gym up. I think it was me and I think it was Anna or Marina at the time.
Anna and a little bit of Marina, I believe.
Literally, we were the only staff.
Yeah.
But I remember I bumped into you and Charlie on that first day. But no, from the very get go.
Yeah.
I knew that we clicked.
Sound, yeah.
So,
same level, same energy.
So what made you get into PT then? Because I genuinely don't think I'm not just saying this for the camera either. I don't think I've actually asked you this story.
It's a fun one really because I was at a place where I was in between careers. I didn't know what to do with my time, and I was working at my local gym. Training at my local gym, and over the period of times, people wanted to train with me. And again, I wasn't coaching, I wasn't charging money. It would just start off myself, then another person was like, oh, can I jump on with you? And then, what time are you coming tomorrow? That kind of scenario. And then after about a month or two, it came to like 5-6 people training with me. So the manager of the gym at the time came over and goes, oh, well, are you PTing? I was like, no, I'm just generally training myself, but these want to train with me. And he goes, oh, okay, cool. And obviously, he couldn't prove it, and I genuinely wasn't charging him, I just wanted to train. Obviously, if they did something wrong, I would correct the form. Not saying I'm qualified back then, but because you just want to help newbies or you can see when someone's doing something wrong. Then another month went by and they pulled me to one side in the office and said, look at him. You seem quite popular in the gym. People want to train with you. Why don't you make money out of it? I thought, oh no, I'm just doing it because I love doing it. I don't want to do it for the money. I love doing it. And then further down the line, I was like, well, actually, do you know what? I might actually, why not? So I got qualified and then he pretty much hired me straight away. And then the guys I'm training with for free, trying to ask them for money is quite difficult because obviously for months and months and months I'm training. So basically, long story short, I was training at the local gym.
So where was this in Nottingham?
Yeah, in Notts. Again, this is going back over 10 years ago now, 12 years ago. And then I got qualified, stayed at the gym. Obviously, I was coaching that.
Sorry about that. The dog is just going absolutely crazy and he's just knocked my camera.
And that's how I pretty much got into it really. If you said to me 12, 13, 14 years ago, you'd be a coach, not that I laugh at you, but that wasn't my career goal at the time. But again, just love helping people, keeping fit, it turned into a career. And that's how I pretty much got started really. From there I've had the fortune of working in different gyms around the country, abroad.
So how long have you been doing this now?
Qualified probably over 12 years or more, but obviously like yourself, before we talked about your fitness journey, you kind of, before you become qualified, you want to know how to lift efficiently, train efficiently. So I think you kind of become qualified before you become qualified, because obviously, some people, like, in the gym where we're at now, don't train efficiently enough, but they think they're PTs. But yeah, so roughly about 12 years. I don't know about your goals, but some people want to become PTs when they're older. Becoming a PT for me wasn't, a career choice. I kind of fell into it, but it felt right at that time because 12, 13 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, what's accessible now for being a coach back then wasn't there. So I think it's exciting times if you're becoming a coach, within the past 5 years. What made you want to become a coach and PT and?
For me, it was because literally next April it'll be about 5 years that I've been doing this now. But for me, so I dropped out of college a month before the end because I did computer science and long story short, I hated it anyway. And then near the end, I was really ill. I had glandular fever, so I was in bed for like 5 weeks. I missed loads of work, and I hated it anyway, so I couldn't be bothered to catch up.
Yeah.
So I ended up dropping out a month before the end, and I went to work in this dog food factory because my mum's boyfriend, his best mate, was the manager, and so there was no interview process. He just said, "Job's yours if you want it." So it was other side of Newark, I think Long Bennington it was called.
Okay.
So literally, it was about an hour and 15 drive there, 10-hour shift, doing the same thing every day, chucking. Because we used to get the dog food in like powder form.
Okay.
And then we would ship it to someone else, and they put all the jelly and gravy and that in it. But it was literally the same thing. It was me and this Lithuanian guy tearing bags of powder open, chucking them down a chute for like 9-10 hours a day.
That's nuts.
And then driving at like all different shifts, earlys, afternoons, nights. So I did that for about 6 months, realised, hated that. And I didn't do nothing for about a year. Because it was good pay, but it was an awful job. So I didn't do nothing for a year, because I was 18 at this point, so I was going out, lads' holidays, all that sort of stuff. And then
Living for the weekend.
money starts running out.
Yeah.
And then I got a job in a pub, like behind the bar. And then it was when I was doing that was when I started going to the gym. And I started going with one of my friends from school, who at the time was a PT, Brad his name was. Trained with him 4 or 5 times a week for like 6 months, and he was, whatever he did, I did it. And I suppose that's what kind of really sparked my interest to it. But it was weird because he was a PT at the time. He used to work at Lammas, but he didn't like it at all, and he doesn't PT now.
Right.
So it's quite weird that me training with him, even though he was telling me how much he didn't like PT, I still
had a passion for it.
I still thought, oh, maybe I could do something with this, because I knew I didn't want to be doing the shitty factory jobs, bar work and that sort of stuff. I hated it. And then he was my client for my practical exam. So obviously I passed that first time because he knew what he was doing, to be fair. So even if I didn't say the right thing, like, he was doing it anyway. So so honestly, it was the practical side of it was pretty easy. And then just training with him really was what. And then I did my course online, and then obviously I've been training at Pure. And I remember I'd been contemplating asking for like a few weeks about a job. And I was in the studio and Chris came in, and I didn't even know who he was at the time other than he was the manager. And I thought, I've got him one-on-one, so I'll ask him now. So I just said, have you got any jobs going for PTs? I've just passed my course. And he was like, actually, I've just had 4 PTs all hand the notice in.
Really?
All in one go.
So obviously this is before COVID kicked in then?
Yeah. This was like March 2019.
Okay, so about half a year before COVID really. Okay.
So loads of people were leaving. So, and then just kick-started that process, and then here we are 5 years later, still there, still stuck in them same 4 walls.
Well, say we've been together now, what, 3 years training together? Well, working together?
Yeah, just after the first lockdown, I think, weren't it?
And the main gym where I spent most of my career as a coach was obviously a gym in Nottingham, and it was underground. So when I applied for PureGym, I was not sure, and then I think it's Martin Lovejoy or Martin Love or something, the recruit manager for PureGym, contacted me and said, look, are you still interested in working for PureGym? I was like, well, I am, but I don't really want to go back to a commercial gym. And I wanted originally to go back to Nottingham because that's where my client base was. And he goes, well, we've got an opening at Mansfield. And I was like, well, I'm not too sure, I don't know. He said, well, have a look around when you get a chance on a virtual website, obviously because COVID, it was here, we were in lockdown. Did the interview, obviously live streaming. And obviously I think with my experience, obviously I think if it wasn't experienced or didn't have the CV that I had, obviously the process might have been a little bit different. And then obviously I never thought I'll go back to a commercial gym, and obviously it's 3 years later, and I do love it. I think the team's good that we've got.
Yeah, but it's the best team that we've probably had since I've been there.
Yeah.
Like, when I first started, it was cutthroat. Like I say, there was most of the obviously there was 4 PTs leaving, so they didn't give a shit really. I remember Chris was like putting me on their shift, and they were meant to show me had to do stuff, but they were leaving next week, so they couldn't care less. Yeah. And then on the other side, the PTs that were there, literally there was like another 4 or 5 that were all doing like 25, 30 plus sessions a week. Like they're all busy. And like most of them just didn't want anything to do with you. I mean, the only person that helped me was Michael.
I don't think I met him.
You wouldn't have never met him. I can't remember I always pronounce his last name wrong, so I won't try and pronounce it. But he was the only guy, and he was busy as well, really busy. And he was the only one that kind of helped me with like my class planning.
Okay, nice.
Other little bits and bobs, but now we've got a solid team.
I say over the years I've worked at gyms with big groups. Like, I mean, I've been in a gym with 20 PTs before, and it is cutthroat, but people come and go. Like, before I joined PureGym and before COVID, 4 people left. The other gyms I'm working at, people, the turnover is so fast. I think because 3 of the reasons: they don't give it a chance, or the first 6 months people fail, or think, they expect because with PT's name on the board they're going to get those clients, or they realise it is hard. And it is hard being self-employed and trying to get clientele. But I do believe, like I say, this group the team is the strongest I've ever worked with over the past 10 years. And obviously, when I met you, it was like, before I got to know you, I could see where the same energy of work, ethic, how we coach, how we PT, how we are with clients, how professional we are. But obviously, I still have a laugh with clients. And I bounced off that, and I fed that off really well. But I thought, I'll sit back first, because I'm the new guy. I want to just how people work, because that's what you do. You don't just dive straight in and try and make a name for yourself. And then obviously, Tony we're just leaving. Anna's kind of like leaving. Marino left. So even when I joined, pretty much 3, and Voldemort, the 4th person we won't talk about, he left. And then that was it then for quite a while, wasn't it? And then obviously we had a few new people start, but overall, and losing Charlie was obviously a bit shit because he was.
Yeah, Charlie. I miss hearing Charlie's stories.
We'll have to get him on a podcast. But yeah, so that's obviously how I connected with you, and I thought, right, let's try and develop some kind of like teamwork, partnership, or something. And even though it's been 2-3 years, it doesn't feel that long. No. It doesn't feel that long at all, which I like. It's not like it's been 6 years, but 3. It's been a fast 3 years. But yeah, so that's how I got started. And it's funny because you got started similar to me, through passion, through love of training, and then realising there could be a career opportunity. I think that's why, without being big-headed, we're so successful, because it's a passion of ours, and it's something that we reinvest in. Like, I've done it through courses throughout the years, you do it through the courses throughout the years. And I think that's a good way to progress, because you can never be the smartest person in the room when it comes to PT. You always learn something new, and I think we try, and even and then if we were PTs, try to stay relevant, the correct way to help evolve the fitness industry.
I think Emma's probably done more courses than what I have in the last sort of year. I mean, she was just on one this weekend gone as well, the PT project one, which looked good. I've been debating doing that for a little while.
But about the Birmingham train station, like literally like sardines being like packed in.
I don't surprise me though. Train stations.
Yeah, nuts, absolutely nuts. But yeah, so it's good. I'm enjoying the team, enjoying the place, and like, it's nice that we both got started with the same passion and same, obviously, career-driven purpose.
You've got to be in it for the passion, I think. Like I remember when signing up for the course, and like the first thing that they promote about it is like the earnings, and you can earn up to £40,000 plus a year as a PT, and I think a lot of people see that.
Expect straight away.
But
in the first year.
Why
ain't earning 40k a year?
Like, my first year I was just winging it, so that was pretty crap. Obviously, second year was during COVID, so that was crap. So it weren't until really the 3rd year that I actually started, when I was taking it seriously and I'd done all my studying and courses and that it was actually becoming a profitable thing to do. But I think you've got to be in it for the passion. If you're not in it for the passion, then you're not gonna have that longevity.
And clients can see that as well. I think clients can pick up on that, the fact that are you here just because you want to make fast cash? And obviously our gym as well is mainly working professionals. The gyms I worked at in the past was a lot of student-based gyms or seasonal members, coming home, for New Year's or Christmas or 6 weeks holidays, or students going home. So where I worked for a chunk of my career, if you didn't have any savings or anything in the bank, or have a nice balance clientele sheet. Some PTs where I worked always students.
Yeah.
So when they went home for Christmas or 6 weeks holidays, their business dried up, so they had to get a second job at Costa or Starbucks or whatever. So I think obviously you've got to project it for the next following term as well. So
should probably speak about the Balanced Athlete as a brand, shouldn't we? Really?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
because we've got. So the idea was initially to get this podcast first and then do the clothing.
Yeah.
Kind of off the back of it,
Yeah.
but the clothing is probably actually ahead.
Yeah.
Of the podcast, because obviously this is the first episode now, but in terms of the clothing, we're just waiting for the samples to come back from the printing and embroidery plate. Well, I've got to approve the designs, and then they're going to make it. So we're just waiting for that. Like the Shopify is pretty much done.
Yeah, that was sick. By the way, good work on that. That was nice. That was.
We to be fair, I'll put the link in the description of this, because at the minute it's password protected, but if they sign up, they'll get access to all the emails and stuff like that for when we launch. And I think it'd be good to probably do like to people that sign up, launch the website like 24 hours earlier to them before we do it to like the general public. So yeah, that's all coming along. There's put a lot of time, effort and thought into that, because like I say, I want the clothing to be a good representation of the brand. So that's why we wanted to make sure we get the right stuff. And like I said to you about the Novu stuff, I mean, I've got my Novu t-shirt on now, but the first time I put that t-shirt on, like you feel the quality straight away. So I know that whenever I buy anything else from them, it's going to be good. So that's kind of where we're trying to go with this intent. And I think with them first samples that we've got,
oh, that was nice. They were,
hoodies. I know you've not tried on the vests yet, but that vest, I mean, I know some people don't like vests, but I love vests, and when I put that on, like you can tell the difference between that and then a little shitty £6 one that I've got of Ethos upstairs straight away. So that's all coming. We're hoping to get that up and running sort of probably mid. I mean, it depends how long these samples take to come back, because this will be the longest part of it. So we're hoping probably like mid to end January.
Yeah, I say, because I know the quality that you got on the hoodie was insane when I tried it on. So obviously you guys, listen to the podcast now, and when it does launch, you would not regret purchasing one of those hoodies. And obviously we're in Lanzarote next week we're in Lanzarote.
Yeah. This time next week we'll be there.
We're filming some stuff out there, which should be good for the podcast as well, and stuff obviously for our social media. And then, like I say, hopefully New Year time we'll launch the merch. But obviously, the merch you found is insane. Like the quality of that is amazing.
Yeah, and literally, so this like signature collection that we're bringing out, with it being the first one, obviously then the collections after that. I mean, 'cause that other, I won't say the name of it, but that other supplier that I showed you, for me, I mean, just from the pictures, we need to order a sample, don't we? But from the pictures and the price of the plain garment, literally will look like another quality up for like hoodies, and then because we're going to go with them for the like the sweat pants, joggers type stuff as well, aren't we? So no, it's all exciting stuff. It's one of them where like we want to get it out as quick as possible, but we want to make sure that the quality is right and the prints and the embroidery. And then I suppose we should probably all clear up what we mean by balanced athlete. So there's a lot of people in the gym, like I know a lot of clients that have been like, what does it mean? I know Chris asked what it means as well, because we don't, when we say balanced, we don't mean balanced as in like when people say, oh, I want to have a good work-life balance. We almost mean balance as in like well-rounded. So hence why we're saying about striving for improvement in everything you do. So it's not just about being an athlete as such, is it? It's about taking the principles of what an athlete does. Because I can't remember, I know I watched a podcast where I can't remember the name. I know obviously it's cycling guy, Sir Dave Brailsford, that obviously came up with that, the marginal gains thing. What can you do better each week? But there was another, I think it might have been Alex Hormozy. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the whole like thinking like an athlete. So just you take them principles that an athlete would do to get better, and then you apply that to whatever it is that you do
In life.
in any training, work, even like personal relationships, like whatever it is.
100%,
You just sort of do it that way. I knew he was going to do that.
When people associate, when I've been talking to my clients about it, obviously they're excited about the podcast and obviously excited about the merch, because obviously I know you put some stuff on the Instagram handle of the hoodies, and I've been kind of explaining, but I've been saying watch the podcast, you'll find out. So I, that's a lot what a lot of people, because obviously you've trained over the years, you've trained people who want to compete or wellness or just longevity, and the same with me. I've trained bodybuilders, bikini models, strong men, strong women, Ironman triathlete athletes, and then general people who say, Adam, I just want to come gym, be healthy, and I've always I've trained your clients like athletes, but also explained to them about it's okay to have a nice healthy balance, and sometimes it's okay to be out of balance, but at some point you got to understand what a balanced athlete is, and then you've been wanting to start a podcast for a long time. I have, and then obviously we came up with this name, and here we are. So balance.
A little help from AI.
Best mate.
Well, AI just came the generic hybrid athlete, but I think hybrid athlete is just thrown around a lot these days. Like, I know. We joke about it in the gym, don't we? When I first started this High Rocks prep, and I'd always be like, I'm a hybrid athlete now.
Talking about High Rocks, so obviously I know you competed last week. You had a client compete last week. So what made you want to? Because obviously you've trained for a photo shoot where you look peeled, insane. Obviously you should put some photos up there, not on the podcast of it, where you look insane shape. And obviously
I'll find one and I'll overlay it. That didn't see it.
But also, and I'm not just saying this, but you're in good shape all year round. So what made you want to go, do you know what, I'm going to do High Rocks? What was your thinking behind that?
So you're probably wondering, why am I sat in a different room? And let me explain. So basically this should have been another sort of 15-20 minute bit of footage in which I spoke about my High Rocks and a couple of other things. However, we had some technical difficulties and one of the cameras cut out. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to class this episode as a part one, and then we're going to film another episode when we're in Lanzarote, and that will be part two. But I just wanted to chuck a little outro in there so it didn't just cut off right at the very end. So on behalf of myself and Adam, thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoy this first episode. We hope to continue to improve as we go along and just keep getting better over time and provide more insight into ourselves and the brand Balanced Athlete. So yeah, please do let us know in the comments how you found this first one. Be sure to drop this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you aren't already, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on episode 2. Thank you again for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.